Hi, I'm Patu from freefincal, and today let's talk about uh, things that we need to retire well, and it's much more than money. So, when you talk about retirement planning in a personal finance context, we always uh, end up talking about inflation, real returns, return before retirement, after retirement, how much are we going to withdraw, how long the money will last, what are the safe investments to invest in, bucket strategy, and so on and so on and so on. All the math and the planning, everything is necessary to in order to beat inflation uh, post retirement when we are not having an income. But there's a lot more to retirement planning than just investing, right? And that's what we're going to talk about. So, one of my favorite proverbs is this simple one: as you sow, so shall you reap. So, all the deeds that we do or we have done so far in our life, I believe will come back and either reward us or kick us in the butt at times that we are least likely to recognize these or least expect them to do so. It will come back and hurt us or even reward us. So it's important how we behave, and there are many aspects of retirement planning, and that's what I want to talk about. Of course, there are some. This is an opinionated post. I mean, in the sense that I'm not going to show you data. I'm going to talk about my experiences and my opinions. Your opinions and experiences could be different, and therefore, this is very. There's no point arguing. Uh, I mean, when two people have opinions alone, when two people have data, they can argue, but that rarely happens. So this is not going to be a data-filled post. So the first thing that we need for retirement is everybody agrees we need enough money. We have talked enough about that, so there's not much to do here. Also, as you sow, so shall you reap matters, because when you start investing for retirement, how much you start invest for retirement, where you invest for retirement, all these matter in determining our retirement purpose. The second is health. Naturally, there's no point in getting those 10 crores, 20 crores, whatever the retirement calculator throws up, when after retirement you are not healthy enough to, at least even at the very least use them for daily or day to day expenses. So, health is very important, and tomorrow's health is determined by today's practices. What you're eating today, what you're doing today. Are you drinking? Are you smoking? Are you are you living in a polluted city? Uh, I mean, many things matter, and some things are avoidable, some things are not, and so we have to take care of our bodies, and our physical self is probably the biggest precious gift that's given to us, and we have to take care of it and nurture it just as we are nurturing our net worth. We must nurture our health too. So that's obvious that we need our health for safe retirement. The third, and probably what is the only thing unique about this video, is relationships. How we behave with our friends, how we behave with our relatives, especially particularly our children and our spouses, will make a big difference to how we are treated after retirement. And especially with children, it's so easy to talk about giving children freedom to do whatever they want, making them evolve as individuals, helping them stand out in society, and so on. It's very easy to talk like that, but when it comes to a day-to-day basis, parents very easily slip into, don't do this, don't do that, you must do an engineering minimum, don't do science, you will not become anything in life, don't do whatever, some telecommunications course or whatever. I mean, don't go be an actor, don't go be a writer, there's no money in it. That kind of stumbling blocks, uh, parents can effortlessly, casually, without even thinking about it, they can put before their children. While uh, I mean, it's important not to do that as a parent, and it's a duty and so on. It's important even for our own self to do it with respect to our own future life and the quality of life that we lead. Because if we, restrict children too much, and if we tell them what to do all the time, they will run away from us when they are free to do so, not only physically, I mean, many of us go outside and work, not only physically, but emotionally also they will run away. They will not be there for us to talk. They will themselves not share their problems with us. So it's a very very difficult thing. So at least for sake, for a selfish reason, we must let other people do what they want in life, and not be too much restrictive in parenting. I mean, I've seen people who talk about being progressive and all that, but effortlessly, just like that, they will say, "Don't do this" to their children, and because it doesn't agree with their idea of right and wrong, their idea of taste of good and bad, and so on. So we have to be very careful with us, because please recognize there will come a time when our health will suffer after retirement, when we need somebody to manage money. We do not know what the technology is going to be 25 years later. We may not be technically savvy to handle all that. We need somebody to help. We need somebody trusted, and who better than our own spouse and our own children. So we have to respect our spouses, handle them properly. All these things matter, and relationships play a big role. How well our children or our spouses take care of us after we retire. So I think that's one of the most difficult and uh, least talked about. I mean, money and health, everybody talks about it, but relationships, not many people recognize and talk about it. Perhaps younger audiences watching this, who are in their 20s, maybe early 30s, may or may not approve of or appreciate this fact. Older audiences will definitely do so. But this is something to keep in mind, and we have to be helpful to others. Our presence should be, I mean, should be useful to others in some way, and we should not be restrictive to anybody in the family. Otherwise, it will come back and hit us hard. At least for a selfish reason, I think we should do it. I mean, many of you may or may not like what I'm saying here, but I'm going to still say it. The final circle in the Venn diagram is productivity. I think we have to be extremely productive in retirement. We must do something with our time. We must not have enough time in retirement. Otherwise, what will happen is, people will sit before the TV all through the day. They will sit and start talking to their children. Did you do that? Did you do? Don't forget that. Don't forget this. They'll start annoying the spouse and so on, annoying the daughter-in-law, brother-in-law, whatever, son-in-law, whatever. So it'll be a lot of problems. So these relationships and productivity go well if you are productive. Uh, it will, I mean, at least petty things in the relationships can be avoided. And I think we must, that is the reason why I keep saying, start thinking about a secondary source of income right now. Start thinking about a passive source of income right now, something that you can nurture, something that you can build over a decade, over 20, 15 years, 20 years, so that by the time you retire, you simply become an expert in that area, and you can just start off on your second career and uh, build towards a productive retired life. So, just like the stock market, the music in our lives will also start to end or start to slow down. Our health will go down. We will get hospitalized slowly and slow on. We may become disabled for a long time. We may need repeated hospitalizations for a long way. For all that, we need money. We need relationships. We need that productivity also to save us. So all these 1, 2, 3, and 4 elements make up, and we should try and inch towards this center right here, and that's where we can retire well and retire wealthy. So that's what I want to say. Please share your comments. Catch you later. Bye bye.